Podcast. My opinion. Podcast. All nine niggas.
We are back with another episode of In My Opinion Podcast. Today, we have one of the funniest people in Columbus, Ohio, stand-up comedian with specials on True TV, just dropped this year on YouTube, a TikTok sensation with 270 million likes, over 1 billion views. That's with a B, people. Over 1 billion views and 9 million plus followers. I want you guys to give it up for my main man, Jason Banks, tonight. Thank you for being here, man. Appreciate it. I just want to get into it real quick because I know we only got a little bit of time. So I just wanted to ask, when did you start comedy? And I'm assuming you started in Columbus. What year and who might have been in your class? I asked people, meaning that 3-4 year.
You know what? If you're big in a podcast, you might know who's in my class, right? So I didn't start in Columbus. I started in Canton, Ohio. So I moved to Canton, and I really wanted to do improv. There was an improv show I went to in Florida, and I came back like it seemed crazy, bro. Like they had a class afterwards. Like if that was my job, that'd be crazy. But all we had was stand-up comedy clubs. So I went to the comedy club instead, and ended up doing stand-up, and it was crazy. But there's a guy named Rick Glassman. Do you know who that is?
No, I haven't heard of Rick.
Look him up. He's a big podcaster, man, and he's
all right.
Big people. But he was like, it was just me and him, and he moved to, which I shouldn't say it was just me and him, but he moved to LA and became real big in LA in podcasting.
Okay.
And then I've been doing it since 2000 and it's either 6 or 7. It's a club in Cuyahoga Falls, and I won the contest. I jumped in a contest, won the contest. 3 people won the contest. First time ever doing stand-up. It took like a couple months to get through.
That was your first time?
Yeah. Like I went through, like, you know, it's like a smaller club, so not like one of those big prestigious clubs where I'm doing it, but I'm doing a smaller club. But yeah, I got through the first round, made it to the finals, and then me and 2 other comedians, one named Katrina Brown and one named Sumak Dorgalkar. And we all 3 won the contest, and then from there I just kept doing stand-up, man. So it's been about, what is that, 2007, so what, 16 years?
16 years.
Which one was that? Was that one of my people?
Yeah. That was Bobby. That was Bobby. So being from Ohio, I feel like I had to look up comics from Ohio, right, as well. Because I was like, oh, yeah, you guys have some bangers that come out of Ohio, man. But you guys don't get that credit like Chicago does or D.C. does. So I just wanted to ask you being from Ohio, there's Gary Owen, there's a lot of cats. I don't know technically if you say Dave's from Ohio.
He's from Ohio. He's from Ohio. I know you want to try to give him D.C. He's from Yellow Springs. Don't get him mixed up.
So we'll give you the GOAT only because that's my GOAT.
Give me the GOAT. And also we also have Cat Williams too, bro.
Oh yeah.
He's Tennessee, bro. So yeah.
So
and we have Steve Harvey in Cleveland.
Oh yeah. So
Ohio's badass, bro.
So
you know what's crazy about Chappelle? Chappelle's so legit that we run a show on Tuesdays at a place called Attic Comedy Club in Columbus, and Chappelle's son works there. His name's Sule. So you ever see when he's talking about Chappelle talking about his son asking for Kevin Hart tickets and all this shit, he's talking about his son Sule. Sule works the door. The club wasn't doing that great, so it was thinking about closing down, and he came in, bro. It was last Wednesday and Thursday, Chappelle, and performed in a club that only holds 90 people. And we all got to sit there and watch this
that shit.
He had Darnell Rollins with him, bro. It was badass. So, yeah.
Yeah, I got to open for Darnell when he was
here.
He
don't do that in D.C., bro, because he ain't from D.C. You open for Darnell?
Yeah. I opened for Darnell probably about 2 months ago.
Also, did he come out to It's Tea Time? Like that Taylor Swift song? Yeah,
bro. He switched it up, I think, a couple of times while he was here.
But he got Taylor Swift, though, he calls it back a lot throughout his whole set. It was just amazing. So I just thought he knew it.
Yeah. Well, that's dope. And I just, again, I like to give flowers when I could give flowers, especially on this podcast, because again, people don't understand this fucking comedy grind. They see that, oh man, you made it. You got this amount of views. You got they don't see the years of sleeping on the couches or setting up podcasts by myself type shit.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. It's all overnight to them. Bro. They
Yeah,
just think
yeah.
it was overnight success.
So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out for Ohio cats. But I did also want to ask you about your special that you just leaked out on YouTube, right? One, I want to know, why did you pick YouTube? And two, if you're from Ohio, why'd you film it in Georgia?
Okay, that's a good question. Both these questions. Unfortunately, man, so YouTube was a thing that I didn't want to do, actually. My agent was more on YouTube. The thing about YouTube is this. It's like, I am monetized through all social media, right? So anything I put on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, if views, I'll get paid for views for it, right?
Yeah.
So if I put this on Netflix can give me a check, and then anytime I put it on any social media, it will say, it could be taken down at points, but most likely it'll just say I'm not being monetized for it because somebody else owns the rights to this.
Correct.
So my agent was real big on YouTube. He was like, yo, man, Andrew Schultz, all these people are putting their stuff on YouTube, bro. You should look into that. But I didn't want to, man. And we had, it's so crazy. Since TikTok, I've been able to fucking pitch to Netflix and everybody. I pitched a whole cartoon to Netflix, Hulu,
Really?
everybody. They didn't take it, of course, but I pitched to them. And so then we came back with the special, man. And so here's the wording I got. I don't know how true it is, because it's so crazy. The head of Netflix, when we talked to her for the cartoon, she was like, I only hear your voice all day. All my kids do is listen to your videos on TikTok. And the same for Hulu of animation, another big fan.
Yeah.
So I was like, I thought I had a great chance. Didn't get the cartoon. I was like, I'll at least get the special, bro. Like, the cartoon's like a series. You gotta put them in. A special, just one special. They all turned me down, bro. And it wasn't even about the material. Like, every feedback I got was, it was really funny. It was great. For the most part, Peacock wasn't really doing specials like that. They were doing big specials, but only like the bigger specials. So they were doing like huge names. They weren't just taking people like Netflix was taking. Netflix came at me and said they loved the special, but they just had a lady, and I don't know who it is. I'm still trying to figure out. I think I might have figured it out, but I don't want to call any names out. But they just had a lady from TikTok who put out a special, and they came at him like, hey man, this person has this million followers and all this, and it flopped. Like, her followers didn't flock to Netflix to watch it. Not a lot of people watched it, and because of that, they weren't big on picking up other social media people. And my agent was like, I'm trying to tell him, like, this ain't a social media person. He's been doing stand-up since 2007, and they were still like, we're just not doing it this time. So I didn't get any of those. So I was kind of forced with YouTube.
Well, with hearing that, my question would be the follow-up, even though it's one of my last questions, but I kind of overheard that you were going to do an animated series. But that brings to light, though, the fact that you pushed out independently your own YouTube special. Would you ever consider doing your own animation thing independently? Because nowadays we don't really need... I mean, we do need the machine,
yeah.
but we don't, like,
I get it.
where there might be more money on the back end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like, I feel like it would be so much easier if Netflix said, hey, here's a cartoon. Of course, you gotta voice these people. We want to hire these people to voice these people. I would just show up to wherever it's at. I would write. I'd probably be in charge of writing it. I'd write it. I would give them the script. I would read my lines. If I was to do it now, I wouldn't even know where to start. I don't even know, like, I don't know if I have to. I'm assuming they would have to have my voice first to even start drawing the cartoons out. So I'm assuming I would just have to set some shit up like this, and then sit there and record my voice back and forth, and then from there I have to edit that so it's all lined up perfectly for them to actually write a cartoon to. So it's like, that's my only thing is, I wouldn't mind doing it by myself, but I just don't know. I wouldn't know where to start. I wouldn't even know how. Now, don't get me wrong though. If I put a clip out on TikTok right now, animators will animate my shit.
Yeah.
So it's like almost, it seems like I know what I gotta do. Like, basically, I can make a 30-minute TikTok video. Put it that way. I can do a 30-minute video of myself going back and forth, and then give it to an editor, let them turn it into a cartoon. I assume that would work, but just Netflix knows what they're doing. They know how to add all the extra music in the background and extra sound effects. And I wouldn't know where to go with that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is all a trial and error industry sometimes, though, which leads me to the next question, right? Is I had Steve Trevino on here as well, and I asked him, I go, hey, Steve, how do you feel about somebody blowing up off of your material? And I say that because I see that you've got over 1 billion views, but there's other people that have blown up off of your comedy. You know, I looked up Diana, right?
Tamaki, yeah.
And I was just like, this girl.
That was
and
an issue, though. Did you know about that? Was a big issue.
No, I didn't know that was an issue. But
Yeah.
like, I asked Steve about, there's a couple in Miami that puts out all his shit, right? And he goes, oh, I actually
What's their
met with
names?
the company, with the couple.
Do you
and he
know
goes,
the couple name? Do you know the name?
No, I don't know offhand.
Does it start like
I'll
Swag?
probably put it on the.
They start with Swag, like
Maybe.
Swag Devar
Yeah,
or something like
yeah.
that. Just because they started doing my stuff and I checked them out and they do a lot of Steve Trevino stuff and I was like, that gotta be the people you're talking about.
Yeah.
Which actually they're not bad people either. But so here's my thing. If you're not a comedian, then go for it. That's how I feel. That's my honest thought. If you're not a comedian, go for it. Because it's like Diane, I honestly believe Diana wasn't doing anything wrong. What she was doing was she was having fun with TikTok. It got so big because TikTok was blowing her stuff up more than they were blowing my stuff up. That people loved it and they were following her. And she was kind of thrown into this, like, I do Jason Banks skits all the time and now everybody wants me to keep doing them. And now my followers are mad because they're going, you don't even credit him. So she's crediting me. She's like, I do credit him. And then people were like, it's so funny you got big off his work. And she's like, honestly, I was just... So it's like, some people are just fucking fans and they just do this to get, and then it just blows up and then they get fans. So now they're doing it. But then there's comedians that I go, you're a comedian. Like, as a comedian, I'm not going to sit there and do Kevin Hart stuff and repeat all his stuff. Because, like, why would people want to come see me for that? Like, I would try to impress people with my comedy so this way you'd be a fan of mine and want to come see me. So I'm always confused when I see comedians that do it, but I'm less confused when it's other people. I'm not upset with comedians. I just go, people just going to want to come see me. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to be like, whose voice is that? You're going to be like, that's Jason Banks. They're like, I want to go see him. So as a comedian, why not come up with your own comedy material and do that? So they go, oh, I want to come see you. You're funny. You know what I mean? So I was always confused with comedians, but it was nothing against them. I just didn't understand it for the most part.
So Diana, is it Diana?
Diana.
She reached out to you as well, and just on the back end, and you guys smoothed it out.
Well, she reached out to me because she was having issues, and I felt bad. But she was having issues where people were coming at her like crazy.
Oh,
she just kind of
really?
needed to calm down. It's more my fans. So I rarely don't do it, but I did it for her. I did it for a couple people. So there's been a couple people, like I'm telling you, my fans would go hard on them, bro. Like they just, I don't know what it is. You just do my stuff too much. They'd be like, do other shit. It ain't you. So I said something, but the big issue wasn't her fault. It was TikTok's fault. TikTok has their own Facebook page, and they posted her, and they were like, you guys have got to go check out Diana's Derek videos. So they didn't even call me out for Derek videos. They called them her videos and wrote this whole blog about her. And then it was weird because then out the blue, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but there's a black side of TikTok, bro. And I'm emailed by this black side of TikTok that was like, hey man, we seen what happened. We feel horrible about it. That's all people are talking about, and we're trying to smooth it out. And they had that post taken down with Diana, shit about Diana, and they actually ended up getting me verified. I'm not sure if that was the whole issue, but they ended up giving me the blue check after all that went down. So there was a black side of TikTok that came to the rescue when the white side was leaving me out of the whole situation. Because it was crazy, man. Like, bro, celebrity. Like there was one point where I was just, every day I wake up, I just call my brother and be like, bro, you never believe who just hit me up. Like one day I get a message from Lance from Instinct telling me how much he loved my videos. I get a message from Dr. Phil that wants to do a video. I got the email from Steve Harvey that wanted to go have me come on and do the whole interview. So I went to, I flew out to Atlanta, interview with Steve Harvey. I was messaged by fucking Neo. Preacher Lawson reached out to me from AGT and gave me his phone number in case I needed anything.
What?
It was just like every day was just random celebrities. And then the more I go on, I would just find other celebrities following me. Like next thing you know, Matt Barnes from the Lakers, bro. Just not the Lakers, but who did he play for? He did play for the Lakers at one point.
Yeah, I think he did.
He's just cracking up on my shit. Fucking JWoww from Jersey Shore, bro. Yeah, like it was just so random how many people will just hit me up and just talk to me about it. Leslie Jones from SNL left me a whole voicemail about how she wanted to turn it into a cartoon. The other day I did a post about just people talking shit on me, and I was calling them back, talking back to them, and D. Ray Davis hit me up and left me this long DM, this long voicemail on my Instagram. Yeah, so that shit is. I think that thing that shocked me the most was how many celebrities got excited over this shit.
Now, since you brought up all these people and all the notoriety, is it weird when people think, because it sounds to me like you've been doing comedy way before you even thought of doing those characters, and now people look at you and they're like, well, he's funny because, and you're like, nah, bro. So because I asked Ryan Davis that same question, right? Because Ryan's a beast on stage too. You know, he brings his whole crew, just like you got your whole crew. You guys are tight knit, and it's funny to watch back because some people on social media, you know, when it comes to social media, they'll get funny for a 10-second clip. But it's been in the comedy community, we all know, like, do they still have an hour of smash material or whatever? Yeah. So is it like a blessing or a curse that you're popping because of those, even though you're like, dude, I've been funny?
I thought it was a curse at first just because there's too many people that would be upset if you didn't get TikTok. Some people would just come and wanted videos, you know what I mean? So at first, but I think it become more of a blessing just because it's like, yo, these people don't even know about this. So it's like, before, if I'm doing stand-up and I have a 60-minute set and I gotta show you my 60-minute set to get you to come out, then that's more rough because now I gotta have more material. But if I'm just shooting these TikTok videos and I don't have to release any of my set, I can just shoot these and then sell out the club and then show them the set. I think it's a blessing. Ryan Davis did this podcast.
Yeah.
Ryan Davis is a cool dude, bro. We went to North Carolina and he just showed up and he opened the green room door. I was like, oh shit, that's Ryan Davis. And he invited us back to his spot. Then we all went back to his house. We played pool with him and his feature. They just happened to be in town because he lives in North Carolina. No, Austin is feature. Yeah, I thought you meant Austin, Texas, like North Carolina. But yeah, Austin. Yeah. So we sat there and played pool with them, man. Had a good ass time. He's a good ass dude. He actually inspired me. Because of him, I went home and I bought my own pool table. I bought a pool table, put it in my basement, and now comedians come to my house and we play pool, bro. So
there you go. There you go. Shout out to Ryan Davis because again, I got him to do the podcast and we were talking about just a bunch of stuff, and he was like, basically, like, why wouldn't I do your podcast? He goes, it's just another opportunity to do an interview and get better at what I do. And so, you know, I appreciate that, man, because again, you know, for me, I'm just a dude trying to get somewhere too in this comedy lane, bro. So any comics that show me love, man, I got to show you guys back love.
Do you work at a club?
What was that?
Do you work at this club?
Yeah. This is my home club.
Do you work here though, or do you just do comedy here?
No, just do comedy here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know people always, if they work at a club and they do comedy, those are the ones that I know are the real motherfuckers that really want to make it, bro. Like, I never try to get the job, but people are like, yo, I'll get on this stage one way or the other, bro. And they get the job at the comedy club. I'm like, that's the hustler, bro.
Yeah.
Put the resume in.
Where I have my own thoughts and ideas. I'll share them off camera about working at a club.
Yeah, so. I get that. Yeah, no, I get that as well. Don't get me wrong. So, but it's always the first step, but you don't realize. You think, I'll get on the stage if I get the job here.
Yeah. But you know, shout out to my club, Tommy T's, always showing me love. Been doing comedy here since 2009, and I tell people, I had Tony Woods on here, and I said I lived in Virginia Beach or whatever, and I would go to open mic 3 years, I think, but I never got up.
Yeah.
And then I moved to LA.
Virginia Beach? Yeah. At the Virginia Beach Funny Bone?
I think it was the Funny Bone.
Yeah, that's my home club, not Virginia Beach, but the Funny Bones in general. And mine's Columbus, but the Virginia Beach Funny Bone's a nice club.
Was it? I just. And then I got divorced and had extra time on my hands and said, fuck this shit, I'm getting on stage.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then I caught that bug, and now, you know, I tell people this is the worst addiction I ever had, bro. This is, you know, at least if I was drinking or snorting lines or some shit, I'd have some payoff. But in here, I just throw away money on shit. So.
No, I'll tell you what's worse than that,
doing
bro.
Comedy.
The gambling addiction's worse, bro.
Gambling?
Yeah, bro.
I got that too.
I called the gambling hotline the other day. I did, bro. I did.
I'm gonna make sure I open up for Kabir. You two are never allowed to come together
Yeah.
because Kabir's got a gambling problem
Bruh,
too. But I say that out of love. That's like my little
As soon as
brother.
I spent, bro, it was just I put it was one weekend. I just put like $500 down, and I lost everything. So I put another $500 down on different bets, try to win it back. Lost that, did another $500, and then after that $1,500 in one day, bro, that next morning I woke up and I just called that. I looked up the Ohio one, and it's not that easy. I was hoping it was gonna be like just do they like look one up. They wanted to send me to this place, and I called the place when I got back to my hometown, and they were like, "Yeah, you gotta be here at 9. It's not just gambling; it's also drinking and like drugs. So it's either first come, first serve." I was like, "I'm not bracing in there with some drug addicts and alcoholics trying to get counseling that I probably don't even need. Probably just need to turn off the fucking online." So I went back online to the site I used, and I just basically emailed them and said close my account, and they're like, we're really big on gambling addiction, so they closed it for me. But yeah, bro, you know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. You go online and you gamble, and then they have a casino, right? So you put a couple $100 in on the sports, and then you go to the casino. And one time I'm in the casino, just making like $8 spins, bro, losing money. And next thing I know, every fucking board was wild. There was not one other thing. It was just wild straight across. And I just was like, what? That had to be like huge, right? And it just started shooting up. And I won $13,000 on that spin.
Really?
And I removed
So you was hooked.
Bro. From there, I just know every $8 spin could be a $13,000 spin. So it was like, you could have $200 in there and lose it and be like, fuck it, I'll put $800 in because I'll probably hit something big. You know what I mean? Then you lose that money and you just keep on chasing it.
See, that's where we should have started this interview at because Reno and Tahoe are only 2.5 hours away from here. So
Yeah. The big game. Yeah.
Well, believe me, I don't know if you like to play craps, but that's my goddamn game. So
that seems like that's the hardest game though.
Oh, but once you learn how to play, you won't walk away.
Really?
Yeah. That's the only reason I drive to Reno and Tahoe.
We talking about like the
dice game. Yeah.
I feel like, but it's not like okay. I gotta look it up. I gotta look it up. Do you win a lot sometimes?
Yeah. And my girl's Filipino, and Filipinos always win.
Yeah.
When it comes to gambling, so last time we went, she won $3,000 or whatever on the slot machine. So, normally I'll lose 500, but she'll win 3,000 or something.
Yeah. That happened to me last time in Vegas, bro. I was like, my wife was going to sleep, bro, and I would go downstairs. Like, I would go down like 5 in the morning. I wake up and she'd be passed out. I'm like, I'm going downstairs a little bit. I go downstairs and lose like $300 to $500.
All right, so bookers, you've heard it here first. Do not book him in Vegas.
Yeah.
Don't. Because he'll end up leaving with no money.
So then the very last day, I went down and won like the money back, but just enough to win back. So I was like, cool, I'll pocket.
So what is your game then? Besides the slots,
I don't really have a game, bro. I'm bad at everything else besides slots. I'm bad at everything. I game. It's sports gambling, what I do.
Oh, okay.
And slots is the extra. So if I put $500 in, I'm gonna go big on sports and leave that last couple hundred in there and fuck around in the casino. But no, man, I can play poker, but I haven't played enough where my friends are sitting there going, the fuck are you doing? I was waiting for a 10. It's like there was no 10s left. I'm like, I didn't count them like you guys. You know what I mean? I'm not thinking so I'm not as far ahead where like the smart guys will get me and take my money, but I know how to play poker. And then everything else, man, it just seems like a gamble. Craps to me seems like a gamble. That what's the one roulette, bro?
Yeah,
it seems like all that seems so crazy. Like I'll randomly, if I'm feeling good, just because I'm drunk, I'm like, fuck it, let's just put 100 on black. And then it's like red. I'm like, oh fuck, it's $100. So,
do you guys have casinos out in Ohio? Just
yeah. We got one in Columbus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But for the most part, it's just where we go. If we're close to the casino, especially I have a new opener now. Like, I used to have a different feature, and he was big on gambling. He was a big poker guy. So if we went to Miami, we went to casino. We went to Fort Lauderdale, which is only like a half hour from Miami. We went back to the casino. So we're always any casino that was closed. We was in Cleveland, went to casino.
I was just thinking, did you get a new opener or middle because of the gambling?
No.
That's why I started laughing. I was like, he was like, nope, sorry.
That's what made me want to call the number, is when I was like going places and then like losing my money before I even get paid. I'm like, well, I lost it all, but at least I'm getting it paid back from the club. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, I gotta stop, bro. Like I made no money this weekend.
My main man, Big James, the comedian Big James. Get up on.
In my opinion, podcast. My opinion, podcast. All nine niggas.